Hello, my name's Nicola Millard, and today I'm going to talk to you about the collaboration conundrum. Now, I've been looking at the future of work for a very long time now, and oddly enough, the future seems to have been thrust upon us at the moment because most of us are working remotely. And it's true that actually technology for a very long time has untethered us from our offices, and yet our inner caveman often hooks us back in. Why is the big question, and this is the crux of the collaboration conundrum. Now, we know that distance can maybe reduce the amount of trust you have, reduce cohesion in the workforce. And yet a lot of us do work remotely now, and not just not in an office. We work with people that we don't necessarily see on a daily basis. And actually that choice component around work, being able to choose how, when and why we work, actually does tend to promote things like well-being. So this is one of the fundamental conundrums that we have to talk about. How do we as a virtualized workforce bring people back together in order to collaborate? Well, I guess the first question is, do we need to collaborate at all? Now, most people, when asked, will say collaboration is extremely important. That does not mean we do it. And actually, collaboration sadly does not happen by magic. It happens typically by purpose. We need a reason to collaborate. Actually, collaboration is a lot easier in a crisis, as I think we're probably demonstrating at this moment in time. So actually having a reason to pull together, understand, how we fit within a team. All of these are really, really vital components for collaboration to take place in the first place. Now, that also implies a different type of leadership, less about command and control, more about connecting people and creating that purpose for collaboration. Now, actually, one of the fundamental things around remote workforces is leadership needs to go from a default of not trusting your workforce to a default of fast trust. You have to trust your workforce to work. You have to set that purpose. You have to set objectives. People need to understand where they fit in the world. And then, of course, you need to reward people for collaborating, not just about what they have done, but how they've helped others. The other thing we need to think about is that we have a very diverse workforce as we go into the future. When we already have 5 generations at work for a start, everyone is different. Everyone has different preferences for how, when and where they work. I'm not normally a home worker. I choose not to be. I could be, I have to be at the moment, but my technology enables me to do that. What I actually need for collaboration is not necessarily place-based, although I keep saying offices are actually incredibly good collaboration tools. But without offices, we need a good common ground. Now, my definition of common ground is it has to be available to everybody and appropriate to the task. And another aspect of diversity that we have to battle in this particular area is diversity of technology. Now, there are no shortage of collaboration tools out there. There are literally hundreds of them, and that does not necessarily help collaboration. In fact, it fragments it. So one of the decisions, and again, this boils down to a lot of leadership, one of the decisions that leaders need to make is, what is the good common ground? How do I bring people together on a platform that everyone can get at and is actually appropriate to the task, whether that's video conferencing, whether that's social media, whether that's audio conferencing. All of those potentially are choices as a common ground. Then, of course, there's the kind of death by meeting aspect of collaboration. I call this the we versus me dilemma. I think one of the problems we find in the modern workplace is that we tend to mistake productivity with activity, and particularly at the moment when we're all working from home, we all feel desperate to demonstrate that we're working, we're on instant messenger, we're having meetings, our diary is full. So we mistake busyness for productivity. And one of the dangers there is we don't have time to think. We have death by meeting days. We over collaborate. And the problem then is we don't get the fundamental work done. We don't get the thinking done that we really need to. So actually what we need to do is to balance we and me. I do need some me time, some thinking time sometimes. And whether that's, deliberately blocking out time in my diary to think, to step back. Particularly important at the moment where meetings are very frictionless. We can have them all the time if we want to, but do we end up talking about the work rather than doing the work? Fundamentally, I mean, at the moment we're in the middle of an incredible big global experiment. My feeling is that work will probably never return to being the same again. I'm not going to say that offices are dead. I do think the function of offices are as collaboration tools in themselves. Have we designed them as such? Probably not. But therein lies the collaboration conundrum. How do we reduce distance by using technologies? How do we create common ground for people to collaborate on? And how do we create the purpose that actually enables them to collaborate in the first place? Please do stay safe, stay connected, and stay collaborating. Thank you for listening.